What I'm about to say today will be controversial as hell, and this video falls into the category of I don't give a fuck my opinion type of videos on this channel. So this is just a trigger warning, but if you're easily triggered, don't watch this channel. But if you're not, feel free to leave your opinion in the comments if it differs from mine or is the same as mine. So let's begin. Have you ever been inside a conflict with somebody on a certain topic and you guys are going back and forth and just can't seem to find middle ground, but you have a third person that you turn to and ask for an opinion because you might think they share the same opinion as you and that they will support you because both of you think that your opinion is right. So you ask that third person for an opinion because also both of you think that that third person will support your opinion. And then that person says something like this. Sometimes the truth lies in the middle, but it's important to examine each side. You see how that sentence ruins all the tension buildup and leaves you disgusted with the sheer mediocrity of their neutral soul. And then the conversation gets even more heated because nobody has support. And after some time, you realize that you have not achieved anything. That statement that I read a few seconds ago was written by ChatGPT, by the way, and I told him to write a statement that a mediocre person who's a bystander would when he or she wants to be neutral inside a disagreement of two friends. And to quote Big Joey Diaz here, have you ever met somebody and they don't do nothing? They don't do nothing. They don't date, they don't do drugs, they don't play checkers, they don't do nothing. How long do you like those people for? You don't. I like people with a little bit of edge to them, and you probably know the rest. So this will be a video on why being neutral is wrong and why you should never make the mistake of being neutral. So buckle up, a lot of controversial opinions to come, but as I said, chip in the comments because I'm the one talking in front of the camera, and yeah, you should leave your opinion because I'm also probably wrong on a lot of things, so I want to learn. Yeah, I couldn't find non-neutral friends for a long time. And to be honest, I hated every single second of hearing obvious opinions when in disagreements like the sky is blue or you're both right in your own sense. And for you, I don't give a fuck people out there. It's one thing not to give a fuck about something. That's not a neutral opinion. That's basically taking an IDGAF standpoint on a problem. And I'm so cool with having an IDGAF type approach to things. That's totally cool. So that's not being neutral. But people who take the neutral standpoint, who take the high road, the road of always looking right, but never actually contributing and solving anything, is those who I don't seem to get along with. And maybe it's deeply rooted in my childhood traumas because whenever I got into trouble, it was because I was defending some of my friends. And nobody stuck their head out like I did for my friends. And they would always like slither away and negotiate their way out of a problem with some neutral standpoint and like act nice. And I would be just left there, you know, guilty. For example, one time we had a fight at school and I jumped in to protect one of my so-called friends and we beat up some guys here, tears here and there, you know, classical kid stuff. But when it came down to settle it with the principal, I was like, fuck you, fuck them, they attacked us and now you're gonna blame us. But my friend basically negotiated his way out of the situation like a politician of some sort. And I compare it with being cheated on. You know, you don't want to believe it and you want to forgive the other person, but you're simultaneously watching the biggest betrayal of your life. So that's an interesting story. But to get back to why you shouldn't be neutral, we have to first define what neutrality is. And I found this one off of Google and I like this one. Neutrality is the absence of expression, strong feelings, and decided views. So cool, so cool. But why shouldn't I be neutral if so many people act neutral? There's a scene in True Detective Season 1 where Marty, a cop, finds some kidnapped children in a house of some drug dealer. You can see by his eyes that he's feeling something different. So he comes out of the house, he takes his revolver and basically blows the head off of that kidnapper. And by the way, he's a cop, and realizing what he did, he asks his partner cop, Rust, who's everything but neutral and average, what do we do now? And Rust responds by saying, fuck him. Good to see you finally commit to something. Also, Jordan Peterson in one of his biblical lessons says the punishment is not waiting for those who did wrong and committed to something wrong. It's waiting for those who were on the fence and have not committed to anything. And both you and me know that this lack of commitment is a widespread problem in today's world. And in all honesty, not committing to something is a result of thinking that life is better without that commitment. And that's just that. And I think that neutrality is a case of just not wanting to commit to something, leading to the proposition that people are neutral because they think that being neutral is a superior position than having an opinion or voicing their beliefs or any other thing in that realm of actually expressing themselves. So we come back full circle to what I said in the beginning. Neutrality is just a tactic for achieving superior status and moral high ground. And it's okay if you want to impress your friends with a "it's not white or black, it's gray" type statement. But deep down, you know it's not true. You know it's false by the basic principles of logic. Actually, Harvard did a study where they showed tons of people a single video of an NFL owner saying he won't voice his opinion on if the players should kneel before the national anthem. And the people that watched the video said that they would have found the owner more truthful if he actually voiced his opinion rather than stayed neutral. There's more research and experiments on Harvard's website, so if you want to see that, go there. But the point is that neutral people are actually seen as less trustworthy than those who voice their opinion. So all those benefits you think you are reaping because you're being neutral and you're not taking a side, yes, those are gone. My take on this is that after all the research, knowledge, and important facts on some topic, you should develop your opinion. Doesn't matter if it's religion, politics, or just a random "I don't give a fuck about something" opinion. It's still a commitment. You've committed to something. You stand for something. You are someone. When you take a stand, you're not just a mediocre something existing and standing for nothing, trying to get a moral edge over people or avoid bullets from people who have opinions or create this kumbaya atmosphere while damn right knowing who's right and who's wrong. Imagine if a couple was fighting on the street and the guy hits his girlfriend and everybody's just standing there doing nothing, like, I want to be neutral. I don't want to do anything, you know. What would that look like? You don't want to be neutral, especially if you see yourself as a leader. Like, don't you feel a moral obligation to stand for something, make a change, have a spine? Amazing, right? And I'm not going to teach you how to commit because that's what you just do when you substantially care about something. But while I was writing this, one thing popped into my mind that is in the equation of neutrality, and this is just if you are neutral because you want to avoid conflicts. But there is one thing that you can work on. It's working on yourself. First physically and then mentally. For men, the deciding factor of if you're going to submit to a neutral opinion, not deciding, but a huge factor is physical fear, fear of physicality. So, for example, if you are in a group of 5 males and you feel like you're not the strongest there or you're the weakest there, you might submit to your neutral opinion because fear of physical altercation or fear of banishing you from the group, from the tribe. But if you are strong as fuck and you train combat sports, you A, don't give a fuck, B, you are okay with being alone and being banished and do not care, and C, you don't give a fuck. Again, and I'll tell you why I think this way. I think physicality in today's world is so overlooked, and I think we've yet to develop and evolve so much that we forget our basic animal tendencies, meaning they are still impacting us. Our basic animal tendencies are really driving a lot of our decisions unconsciously. Don't forget that our bodies and basic senses evolved first, meaning we could feel pain and fear long before we could do math and build rockets. Like when you have your nose blocked because it's runny, I don't know, you can't think clearly. I'm talking just about that. All these physical senses and all these basic systems within our body that evolved first trump all these complicated cognitive ones that came after. So if that's the case, go lift weights, train Muay Thai, do hard shit, and then you'll come back the man of the house and people will ask you more for your opinion and you will have no problem voicing what you believe in. So yeah, my message for today is to commit, stand, and vouch for something, and don't be neutral. I'm probably wrong in tons of ways, but you should let me know in the comments here, or you should write me a private message. So that's the end of the video.